Welcome to the basement. It's Footballin. I'm Ben. That's Spence. Ben Roethlisberger, in case you weren't sure.
I was going to say, but who, Ben?
I know. I just wasn't sure what to do. But welcome. Welcome to Footballin. Brought to you by Giant Eagle. Thank you, Giant Eagle. All your food, beverage, and gas needs.
Oh, wow.
And pretty much everything else you need at Giant Eagle. So thanks, Giant Eagle, for this. Appreciate you. Got a great show. I believe we have a great show for you. We are going to give it everything we have. We are going to jump into all kinds of things to talk about. We've got, as usual, Seven's Top 7. We've got the family dinner with Evan, whatever he's preparing up there. We're going to hit our beers as usual. We're going to talk about some unique trades and things that have happened around the league quickly. Maybe talk a little bit, you and I, about and share with the fans just some thoughts and ideas to let them help us of where we think this show or where we want to take the show during the quote-unquote football offseason.
Yeah.
Looking forward to that show. But as with any good football show, Spence, take it away.
Oh, you mean start this thing off with a nice little beverage, a nice cold beverage, refreshing. Because here in Pittsburgh yesterday, the sun came out for the first time all year.
It's such a tease. It was so
I know.
Beautiful.
I thought the same thing. Shout out to the sun for making an appearance.
Yeah.
We appreciate you.
I was out getting like spring clean. Like, let's get stuff together. And then you're like, oh, it's cold.
Dude, I was out there. I'm like, should I mow my yard? Should I mow my yard today?
Yeah.
I did not. Let's do this, man. We're going to start this beer or start the show with a weird beer.
Weird beer?
And maybe it's not weird.
Well, that's very fitting because the Pro Bowl just happened.
Yeah. And
it's a weird football.
I can't think of a weirder game of football than that, man.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Because I'm sitting here right here, and you guys can't see this, but over here I see some Pro Bowl jerseys.
Yeah. That's when we used to play the game.
You ain't wrong.
I feel like we should spend about as much time talking about the Pro Bowl as I did watching it.
Yeah, so
let's move
on.
No, you know what? Listen, I get why they kind of changed it up. I get why they mixed it up a little bit. When I first started playing in the Pro Bowl, it was more of a game.
Yeah.
Then it kind of did turn into, in essence, no one wanted to hit anybody too hard. You didn't want someone to get hurt. I get that too. But there was some incentive to trying to win it towards the end. So you always knew in the fourth quarter you're going to get some guys that we're going to play a little harder. Nowadays, would I want to play in the flag football game? No.
Really?
I think the things that would listen, I'll say that as a quarterback, flag football is like 7-on-7 was the best part of practice. Mm-hmm. You didn't have any rush. You could just sit and throw the ball. That's what you love doing. That part, I guess, would be okay. But the thing that, like the little QB challenge thing that they do, like that seems kind of fun. Like I would have liked to compete in that. They used to do one of those. I might have a helmet up here. I thought I might have.
I need to get a handheld camera and just.
I know, sorry. There used to be a quarterback challenge. I remember doing it like Byron Leftwich and some guys where they did like the same sort of thing, accuracy, long ball, all this kind of stuff. But I don't think they do that anymore. But I assume they kind of incorporated in that. So, listen, there's people that I assume love the Pro Bowl. There's guys that are probably betting on the Pro Bowl, Brendan Conley. And so, it is what it is. Congratulations to the guys that made it, but a lot of guys don't play in it, so you're getting a lot of like fourth and fifth alternates playing. Yeah,
well, J.J. Watt came out and called, he's like, when you get fifth alternates, you might as well call the participation vote.
Anyway. What do we got here? That's enough on that was actually more time on the Pro Bowl than needed to be.
I do think the little challenges are cool and clever.
Yes.
Like those
are kind of fun things.
The flag football game. But, I feel like when you have conversations about making the regular season 18 games and then some of those guys are making postseason run, they're not trying to play another.
Yeah. I get that not playing a football game, but maybe have a game where like the receiver, the skill position play line and the line plays skill.
Switch
and
it up.
You just kind of see what it would be like. Like then the linemen are like, see it a little tougher than you thought, huh? Mm-hmm. Or have guys play like in those sumo suits.
Oh yeah, dude. That'd be hilarious.
Maybe in the wall. I don't know, something weird.
Yeah.
But anyway.
They got something weird for, I'm sure being part of it's great, right?
Yeah,
go down to Orlando. Well, it's not Hawaii anymore either.
That loss. Going to Hawaii was, other than the one time I got really sick.
Yeah.
That was awful.
What, you eating bad tuna?
Last time I went to Hawaii.
What? Bad poke?
Listen, I'm not going to I'll spare people the details because they don't want to hear about it. But I'm a bigger man. And the bathrooms are not real big in those
tiny
airplanes. Okay.
Yeah.
And I remember we flew into Dallas and I was like, man, I'm not doing good.
So even before you got there?
Yes, before we had to go to Dallas and then flew the rest. So I think it was, Ash was with me. I think my sister, I'm not sure whoever was, I think it was just us maybe. I don't know. Probably family. I don't know, whatever. But I remember getting to Dallas and being like, I'm not doing well. Like I get on this next plane. It's like, if I can just get on the plane and go to sleep, right? Just like, and I remember being, again, I'm going to spare you all the crazy details. And I apologize if I'm not going to give you the details. I was on the plane and it was one of those ones where it's like, we are next for takeoff. And when you have no choice, but you got to get to the bathroom.
Brother, I've been there.
It's coming out one end or the other, and it's probably not the end you.
Right.
Okay.
50-50 shot and you might lose.
Yeah. Okay. So it's not coming out of a place I can put a bag over my mouth. How about that? And we're getting ready we start going, and I.
Yeah.
Hey. I'm running to the bathroom. The flight, like we're getting ready to go. The flight attendant is like, "Sir, sit down." I said, "No, sir.
No. You don't
want flight attendant. No, not stewardess. Flight attendant. Yeah. Make sure I use the right verbiage. I was like, "No,
you don't want that.
You don't want this. You want me in this bathroom. I promise you." They couldn't go
because
someone was in the bathroom.
That's so
they had to like wait for like pull over to the side or whatever it is. Next, we are now 10th for takeoff or whatever. So anyway, try to spray the details.
You ruined the rotation.
That was the most miserable trip to Hawaii I ever had. So
good for you, man.
How about this beer? Yeah. Sorry, guys. I just had to tell you my miserable story. I literally got to Hawaii and it was like we had a rental car. I think my sister went and got the car. Like it was like I'm sitting there like this, and it's like, how fast can I get to the hotel? Because you want to shower.
Yes.
You want to be in a bathroom. And I got there, and it was like I went right to the team doctor's IVs. Like they just started filling me up. But it was a quick little like bug. Like I don't know if I ate something or what, but it was awful.
That's an 8-hour and 22-minute flight time according to Google.
Yeah,
you
were just
yeah, good for you, bud.
And out the bathroom. Anyway.
Yep. They're like, I think that's hilarious to witness 6'5", running down the aisle. Sir, you got to sit down. Trust me. No, I don't.
No, you don't want me to sit down.
I do not. Yes.
There's only one place I'm going to sit down.
Yes, exactly.
It's not in my seat.
Y'all do what y'all need to do. I'm going to do what I need to do.
Anyway, go ahead. We went way off the rails here.
Hey, man, welcome to Footballin.
This
is your first episode.
Show.
You picked a good one. All right. This is from the good people over at Cigar City Brewing down in Tampa, Florida.
One of your favorites.
My old stomping grounds. All right. We've had Alai, which is their flagship IPA. It's a little take on Alai. It is the Peach White Oak Alai. That's right. You heard that. The beloved and eccentric qualities of our White Oak Alai IPA collide with sweet and juicy natural peach flavor for an innovative take on this Cigar City classic. White Oak spirals are used to impart sleek notes of vanilla and coconut to Alai IPAs, bold and citrus caramel notes.
So the two things I think of when I hear you say that in this, and I know I've already said his name, but it started getting like kind of like fruity or whatever.
Yeah. Brendan. That makes sense. That checks out.
And then the second thing I thought, and I know we probably mentioned them too much, but this looks like a nice light one, which would be an easy black and tan, except for Justin.
Well, hey, shout out.
Yeah.
Right.
We're giving him too much love here. All right, let's try this.
You want to try to do, I see you have Guinness on tap. You want to try to do a black and tan with this?
No.
Yeah, let's try it.
No, I don't want to.
You think it'll be trash?
We could make it, but it's not going to taste good. This would not go good with Guinness.
Only one way to find out, brother. Do you have the little pour thing? I'll make one to the side.
It's in there somewhere.
What do you think?
It's fine. It's good. I mean, it's not what I'm drinking right now when it's cold outside.
Yeah.
Tastes just fine. It's interesting. It's unique. It's got
7.5%.
Oh, I thought you were going to set it out at 10.
No.
Wow, strong. I know you like that. I know you like that brewery and everything, and that Cigar City, and that is good. But I'll drink one of those. Don't need another one. I did taste the white oak. The peach obviously is a little hint of peach on the back end, but it's fine. It's fine. It's a unique IPA with that flavor.
I thought I was going to hate that. To be honest with you, I don't.
Yeah, I don't. If it sounded like I said I hated it.
No. I just thought I was going to hate it.
Yeah.
Because
Brendan loved it.
Yeah. But yeah, that's good. That's going to be way better the summertime.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's the problem. I was outside where it was cold today.
Yeah, you're wearing a hoodie right now. That's the problem.
I am wearing my hoodie.
Oh, check that out.
I'm wearing my...
God did it. Yes, he did.
Mike and Tyler.
Hey.
Went and saw Micah and our friends Jade and the rest of the band table this last weekend over in Cleveland. Yes, Cleveland. I was there. You didn't see me.
That's love. You going to Cleveland to see some artists? That's love right there.
I did. I went over and saw my boy Micah. Saw Jade and the band. What an awesome time we had. Like 30-some people go, mostly kids, and they were rocking it. They got to see Ann Wilson, which the girls were all like fired up. I think she's like the Christian Taylor Swift.
Oh, really?
Like she has her little girly clans.
Yeah, that's high praise.
It was awesome. Colton Dixon. But it was, just a winter jam. Great show. So thanks, Micah, my dude. Follow him on Instagram. He did a really funny golfing with Jesus video, which is really funny. That's awesome. He hits a ball in the water, and he's like him and Jesus are playing golf, right? Playing 18 holes. And like the first hole, he's like, hole in one, great job. Like, good for you, But he hits the ball into the water, and he's like, he goes to the edge of the water, and he's like, if I only knew of someone that could split the water so I could get my ball. Like
Micah's funny, dude.
Oh, it was funny. He did this whole thing. Like he was in the rough or something. He goes, I know you make me lie down in green pastures, but I really could use a fairway here.
That's
like, he comes up with some pretty clever things. So check it out. It's actually really funny. Micah's awesome. So, but anyway, I got my sweatshirt on. I'm not going to spill on this, whatever Evan has today. I might take it off.
Hey, we get a bib. Football and bibs. Get an apron.
Well, I should get an apron.
Come on, man. Don't you know somebody at this show?
But we gotta get the merch out to people. But anyway, we have really gone off the reservation all over the place. But yes, so sweatshirt cold out. This beer, it is good. But
let me dial you back in here.
Reel me back in.
In your intro, which you're crushing, by the way, big fan of you doing them. You mentioned Seven's Top 7. I have a 7 top 7 category for you today.
Okay.
All right. And it's in light of a lot of things you mentioned, but a lot of things that are happening. This time of year, obviously, in professional sports, NFL to be exact, there's a lot of trade talk. Yes. But one of the bigger ones that I think we'll get into today happened in the NBA. So, in light of all of that, I thought today 7 top 7 would be the most shocking trades in NFL history.
Okay.
Shocking.
Unique. Crazy.
Yeah.
Like what? Jaw dropping.
Because you probably witnessed some firsthand there.
Probably. Oh yeah. I mean, when I was playing.
Right.
Yes, for sure.
Right.
And again, there's some honorable mentions. It's hard to always pick, like, because people are gonna, which was what makes us what it is. People want to argue with me, which I get it. So yeah, we're gonna hit what I think are some of the most unique, and obviously these are probably in the last 40-ish years. There's some probably back in the day, Night Train Lane to the Steelers, things like that. But we're going to hit. I have like 3 honorable mentions.
Okay.
Do I like bang those first, or do I say those to the end?
Yeah, same to the end.
Say the end.
So
okay.
we know they didn't make them.
So we know they didn't make it. Okay, starting number 7, and I did some of these. I'm going to say too. You might call it a homer a little bit, or a little close to home.
I think it's allowed.
Okay, but it's allowed because it's 7's top 7.
We'll allow it.
Number 7, Russell Wilson to Denver. I think that kind of shocked everybody, right?
Oh, yeah, it did.
He was Seattle. Just when a quarterback, especially that kind of is known for that franchise, gets shipped out, it makes you just kind of go, oh.
You think that was bigger than him coming here?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do. Because once you're there and it didn't work out there, it's like, okay, now anything can happen, right?
Sure.
Number 6, Jerome Bettis to the Pittsburgh Steelers from the LA Rams at the time for like a 2nd, 4th rounder. Obviously, I picked that because Bussy's our guy. We love him here in Pittsburgh. He won a Super Bowl here. I don't know what the Rams did with their kind of stuff after there, so move on to that. Number 5, I'm taking John Elway to Denver from Baltimore on draft day. So Baltimore picked him. He said, do not take me, or I'm going to stay and play baseball, I believe. So Baltimore did. They traded him, and they traded him for an O-lineman, a backup quarterback, and a first-round pick next year. John Elway goes to Denver, plays in 5 Super Bowls, wins 2, I believe, and Baltimore moved to Indianapolis the next year. So
what a wise man.
I think it worked out well. Number 3, I have kind of a double dip here, but you're going to hear why. It's the same person. Brett Favre to the Packers, started in Atlanta very early. I think 1 year in Atlanta, got traded to the Packers, which was a big deal. But to me, the bigger deal, which is my number 4, is Favre to the Jets. Because he was cemented in Green Bay lore. He was said he was going to retire, so they went to Aaron Rodgers, then said he wants to play again.
Right. So that's 4, and what was 3? You did?
No, that was 4. I had 2 Favre moments, but I picked the Packer one, the Favre to the Jets was a bigger move than Favre to the Packers.
Yes.
Okay, sorry, I know that got confusing. Okay. Number 3, Joe Montana to the Chiefs. You know I'm a Niner guy. It just didn't feel right to see him play for the Chiefs. Like I said, that's just
as a 49er fan, I don't acknowledge that trade.
Yeah, me either. So, he never played for anybody with the Niners.
Yep.
Number 2, and it was a player, but it kind of happened in the draft, was Ricky Williams. Okay, so Ricky Williams come out of Texas, big-time running back, this and the other. The Saints gave their whole year draft picks. Every pick they had that year went to Washington to move up in the draft to get Ricky. Obviously, it didn't really work out for either.
That is true.
But the fact they gave up every single pick
that's crazy.
for him to move up into the draft, just, again, it was before he was in the NFL, but he ends up going to the NFL and was okay, but never obviously amounted to what I think to trade the whole draft for.
Sure.
And number 1, I think, could be everyone would talk about is the Herschel Walker trade from Dallas to Minnesota. They gave up 8 draft picks for him. But it basically made the Cowboys, right? This happened in like 88, 89. It allowed the Cowboys to go get Aikman and Irvin and Smith, and it helped them get their Super Bowls and created the team that we basically made the Cowboys more, kind of brought them back to prominence. Herschel went to Minnesota and played for like 3 years later, I think, or was only, that was it. Like there's nothing more. So Minnesota kind of put all their eggs in that basket, and it never worked out. And the Cowboys have everything; they own everything. That's my number 1.
That's a solid list, man.
I did come up with 3 just kind of unique.
The honorable mentions.
I couldn't think of the word. Randy Moss from the Raiders to the Pats.
That was
he goes
crazy.
to the Pats. It was a big deal. He ended up, leading the league in Super Bowl and touchdowns. Went to the Super Bowl. That's their 18-0 team. That ended up losing. Steve Young to the Niners from the Bucks. As a Niner guy, it was obviously a big deal, which is obviously one of the reasons that Joe then got shipped out. And then one that probably could have made it was Marshall Faulk when he got traded to the Rams from the Colts. He ended up going to the Rams and wins an MVP.
Right.
Kind of created that greatest show on turf, helped Kurt Warner's career become Kurt Warner's career.
Yeah.
So, won MVP and won a Super Bowl. So that one probably should have been on there, but
what year was that? Because I don't even remember him as a Colt.
I don't remember what year that was. Sorry, but
yeah, those are solid. I mean, are there any in recent history? I mean, obviously the Russell Wilson made it. I thought the Stafford Goff swap was crazy.
That was a unique jaw dropper for sure.
Yeah. Well, because there's a handful of those guys on the lists that I think a team sees the guy performing really well. Obviously, he'll do that here. What dictates the success in another league? Like if I'm a GM looking at a guy, I'm going to bring him in and have him have the same success and he doesn't pan out. What do you think are the contributing factors to that?
Because why they don't pan out?
Right.
Well, I think it can be a lot of things, right? I think you can go to a team that, some people would think that, for instance, you bring Herschel Walker in, stud, comes to Minnesota, and this all happened before I can really remember all the little details of it, but just because a guy's a good player at one team, it could be because of the system. The system helps. Herschel Walker was a stud regardless, but the system could help. The linemen could help. The receivers can help. A quarterback, like there are so many factors involved. His happiness. Sometimes when a guy gets traded, he becomes happier or becomes miserable.
Sure.
I think there's a lot of factors involved when trades happen. I don't know. I would love to analytically look at when trades happen. How many times do both parties benefit? It seems like a lot of times one team benefits from the other, and some of those. The beneficiary things are going to be unknown because it's draft picks, right? Like we're trading you for 3 draft picks. Well, what do those draft picks do? Maybe they trade that pick to another pick for a player. Like there's kind of those degrees of separation, right? The tree, the roots kind of go all over the place. So it's not always a 1-for-1. The Goff Stafford thing, you can kind of look at, okay, Stafford never won a Super Bowl.
Right.
I would argue to say that Detroit's a better team than they were when Stafford was there. Now, is that because of Goff or is that just because of everything else involved?
Sure.
They haven't won a Super Bowl, but
not yet.
When you go 1-for-1, a player for a player, it's a little bit easier to kind of look at what that can do, or who won, if you will.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of, there's some talks going on right now in the NFL about guys, and you'll never really know right away. I mean, obviously you can look at the Ricky Williams and the Saints thing. Like, I don't remember who the Commanders got for all those picks, but they haven't done anything since this year anyway. So obviously it didn't work out real well for them either. So, those are just some of the ones that I kind of highlighted in terms of players and not necessarily giving up picks. I know that Ricky Williams was picks, but there's a lot of teams that give up things to get a higher draft pick. That one I tried to kind of stay away from those and more player to team stuff. Yeah,
well, one that's making headlines now is obviously Myles Garrett requesting a trade, which is an interesting thing to do, to tell your employer, like, hey, man, I know you got me, for 2 more years on this contract he's got? He's like, I just want to. I don't think in any other profession you can do that. Like, I don't want to work here no more.
Yeah.
Because y'all ain't really doing what I want to be doing. It's come out to say the Browns aren't even going to entertain.
There's a price for everything.
For sure. Especially in this league.
There's a price for everything.
So, great. It leads to a great question. One, do you think that's possible? Do you think that is what that franchise is built
for sure,
on?
I think anything's possible.
And then what's the price and who's going to pay it?
Yeah, I think anything's possible. Again, it's going to have to be the right price. It's going to have to be, in my opinion, I think it's multiple first rounds.
Sure.
2 first or a first, a second. You're going to need to give up multiple picks. Maybe you can get away with 1 first round and a high profile player. The players that you have on your team always can kind of throw wrinkles into it. I don't necessarily blame Myles. I think he sees, as Coach Tama would say, the sand is passing through the hourglass. There's no hope for that team winning a Super Bowl in the next 5 to 7 years.
You can say 10.
10 years. I don't know how long Myles going to play for 10 years. The reason I didn't say 10. So he wants the championship. And I don't blame him. Didn't he just win Defensive Player of the Year? I think that just got announced. He's doing everything he can. Now, if Deshaun Watson, that trade whole thing would have happened and Deshaun would have played the way that you saw Deshaun in Houston, I think that would have made him feel different. But right now, he's probably thinking like, you can't win this league without a quarterback.
Right.
And so he's looking at the writing on the wall saying, we don't have a quarterback right now. And are we going to go draft one? Like, people are talking about them drafting one. That doesn't all necessarily automatically mean that you're going to go win either. You don't get Jaden Daniels every year in the draft.
Right.
And even if you do get a really good quarterback, say this is a really, really deep draft class with one of, you get an all-timer up there. That doesn't mean it's going to translate either. You have to have pieces around there. And so he wants to win. He wants to win now, which I get it. All those players want to win, but so I don't blame him for asking for it. Usually you want to, I would always argue that you want to do it in private.
Sure.
That being said, he maybe he has.
You're right.
At some point, if you feel like your requests are falling on deaf ears, you gotta.
Yeah.
All right, fine. If you're not even going to like entertain it, I got to go outside.
Sure.
So I don't know what's going on behind closed doors there. I'm not sure what they're thinking or doing, but he's a guy that, in my opinion, has earned the right to ask for that, to talk about it, to, if nothing else, maybe it threatens is the wrong word. Maybe it forces, maybe it puts some pressure on the team to be like, okay, we need to address our team, which I feel like they've been doing for a while now. Maybe we need to figure out a way to keep him and keep him happy because he is like the linchpin of our team.
Right. And I'm sure as a Cleveland Brown, you probably wouldn't like going to work every day at Ben Roethlisberger Stadium.
No,
that's
I wouldn't
probably
think that
a tough thing. You got the naming rights there, didn't you?
That's what I heard. I saw some pictures.
Yeah. So who do you think is best positioned in the league to pay that price?
Man, it's hard to say. I would think that, I don't know teams where they sit in terms of salary caps and players and this, that, and the other, but it's going to require a hefty price, I would think. I wouldn't think the Browns would take anything. And then the thing is going to be, if they don't end up moving him, is he going to come to work? Is he going to be disgruntled? Is he going to give everything he has? What's that look like? He's not getting any younger. No, he's still dominating and doing his thing, but because I think he's a year or two younger than TJ, I think.
Is he?
I think that's kind of how they correlate. But I'm sure there's teams out there that would do it, but does he want to go to a team that, would give everything, but aren't even close?
Right.
I don't know. Right. I would think he'd want to go somewhere where there's a good quarterback. I think that'd be option number one, I would think.
And I feel like value-wise, man, like that's probably who you're looking at trading.
Yeah.
Right? To get a guy like Myles, but
can't give up a quarterback.
Right. So, that leads me to another guy that I just found out about today or yesterday. I don't remember when I first saw it. Cooper Kupp. Cooper Kupp, the opposite thing happens, right? He wants to stay in LA and just, right off into the sunset.
Yeah.
And the Rams are like, nah, we're good on that. Now, it doesn't seem to me that there's bad blood between the two. I think they're probably just rebuilding and restructuring the organization, have some ideas of where they want to take it. Cooper Kupp isn't really fitting into that. There were talks about Cooper Kupp coming here.
Yeah.
This past year, which that would have been super rad as a Steelers fan. So what are your thoughts on that, man, when the opposite thing's happening?
Yeah, I had to think there were some legit talks this season before the trade deadline about receiver because everyone knew what we needed here. Don't know, obviously, where it went, what transpired from it, but there had to have been at least some inquiries, right? I think for the Steelers, it's a great move, depending on what the Rams are asking.
Sure.
If they're asking for something that's outlandish, then don't do it. But if it's worth doing and you have the cap space to take on his contract, then I would absolutely do it. I think he can come in here as a number 2 with George. He's a veteran presence that can help maybe teach George how to be a pro wide receiver in the NFL. He also just automatically adds veteran leadership to your team because you don't know what's going to happen with Russ. You don't know if that veteran leadership's out. So just strictly Pittsburgh Steelers, I think it's a great move. He does what you want. He's a hard worker. He's a blocker. He's going to give you everything he has. I think he can play in the cold because I just don't think things bother him. Obviously, you have a little bit of issues with some injury potentially, but that doesn't mean it's going to always happen. He's not playing on turf anymore, which is huge all the time. So for Pittsburgh, I think that is amazing. I think if you get him here too, it also takes the pressure off getting a receiver in the first or second round. I mean, I still think you can if you choose to, if you want to stockpile, but you don't have to necessarily go get that dude with the first pick. You still can, but you don't have to. So from the Pittsburgh Steelers side of it, I love it. I love the move. From Cooper's side of it, I wouldn't want to come here because you don't know what's going on at quarterback. And as a receiver, you need the quarterback. So I would be like, unless they have a surefire veteran quarterback that can get you the ball, that this offense, maybe, if you want to put up stats and numbers and stuff too, I think that's not the perfect place for him to come. But he helps us work the middle of the field.
I was just going to say
he's a slot dude that can do some things. So for Cooper, I think now if they came out and said, listen, we're going with Russ and we're doing this, because that's another one we should probably talk on real quick, is the whole Russell Wilson to the Raiders.
Yes.
Because Pete Carroll's there. Like, what is that going to all of a sudden? I know Russ shot it down, which is what he's supposed to do. But is that something that's a real option? Because I know that him and Pete Carroll supposedly had beef, which is why he left, but supposedly it's been fixed. Is that something is there something there? We're just going to leave it at that.
They bring it back, Marshawn.
Yeah. Is there something
But this time they run the ball on the 1 yard line.
That being said, if they were to say, listen, Russ is our guy here in Pittsburgh, maybe then Coop would be like, okay, I feel comfortable. But it feels like the Steelers are a little bit that quarterback position away from landing the guy that is on the last part of his career that would want to play with a good veteran quarterback. So that's my 2 cents on that whole situation.
Yeah, and that begs an interesting question. Like, is the lack of certainty around the quarterback position in Pittsburgh going to keep us out of conversations with a lot of different
potentially talent? Yes, potentially. I think Coach Tomlin has always been the veteran selling point, bringing free agents in like they want to play for Tomlin, which will never change. But yes, there's definitely going to be guys that are going to question, well, what are y'all doing at quarterback?
Right.
So until that stability is answered, and even if it is answered, even if it's like right from the get-go, it's okay, you know what, we're going Fields or we're going Russ, whichever way it is.
Right.
There still might be guys like, you know what, that doesn't, like that style of player or that quarterback doesn't fit what I want to do. So
no.
I'm not going to come.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's what Coop's doing, but I'm just saying that's a possibility.
Yeah, man. Ooh, the what if game.
What if? A lot of what ifs out there.
Well, let's jump out of the NFL into the NBA, because obviously when you're talking trades, you can't sit here and not talk about the Luka trade.
Oh.
The Luka AD trade. You talk about, I guess those are NFL trades, but I was like, that. Well, yeah.
That
was something that
only.
I think you're the one that texted. And that's the first time I heard. And then I went to go look. I was like, that can't be real. That's not a real thing.
I remember just thinking, like, I think Beal was the first one, or Bart or someone texted it in our group thing, like Luka. I'm like, well, Luka what? And I had to go look. I'm like, this is crazy.
Right.
Obviously basketball is not our forte on this show. It is my favorite sport to play, but we don't need to spend a lot of time in there because that's not our specialty. We would just be guessing. But
That's what I do in football. So it's fine, dude.
If I were to put money in a pot on where I thought or what in the world happened here, I think that this had nothing to do with the players. I think this was all owners being like, you know what, this is what I want to do to try and win. I think the Mavericks want to win now, and I think that they know obviously Luka's a generational type player, like a once in a generational type player. He's special, but I think the Mavericks are tired of his of the defense or lack thereof defense. I think they're a little tired of him being injured. He's been injured a lot this year. I think there's been talks of him being out of shape, and I think they're like, with Kyrie, he can bring enough on offense that it's like, listen, we're just and listen, AD's no slouch on offense either, obviously, but they're like, we're a defensive stud away from winning. And so let's make it happen. And the reason I don't think Luka had anything to do with it, I mean, he just bought I saw that $13 million house in Dallas. You think he was trying to go anywhere?
You don't do that right before you leave? You don't do that.
And for the Lakers, I think it makes a lot of sense. You bring in that generational dude to play with LeBron. Now, can those two coexist? Who's going to take the last shot? There's going to be a lot of questions. Or was this done to let LeBron kind of show Luka how to be a pro, have a veteran do this is because listen, what LeBron's doing is unbelievable. At his age, his body, the way he takes care of himself, the way he continues to play is just it's a recipe. Let's figure out what it is. So are you trying to this is our next phase. LeBron is gonna now we're gonna let LeBron go somewhere and try and win a championship.
Right.
Might not be here because we might still be a couple pieces away. The Lakers might be saying, let's get LeBron to a team that is a LeBron away, and then let's let Luka figure out what he is now the new face of the Lakers for the next 5 to 10 years.
Dude, honestly,
you build around Luka.
That makes the most sense. Because when I was diving into it a little bit more, I'm like, that seems like a really good LeBron succession plan.
Yeah.
Right. And then I got excited because I'm like, oh, what if LeBron comes to Golden State? Big Golden State fan.
I think that could happen.
I would love.
I think that put Steph and him and LeBron together. I think that could happen.
Bro, they just won a gold. What are we doing?
Listen,
that's must see TV. All primetime games they got.
I agree. Listen, I don't disagree with it. I think it's crappy for the players because I don't think any of the players liked it or wanted to do it.
Sure.
But but I think both teams got what they wanted.
Oh yeah.
And so I think they're all and it all comes down to who runs it, the owners.
Yeah.
So that's my 2 cents on the old. Yeah,
man. Well, let's do that. We got another beer. We're only gonna do 2 beers today because we're just kind of doing a fun little show today. That's cool. Perfect. And we need to restock your beer fridge, man. So I know. I'll put
we need to make a Giant Eagle run.
Yeah, we need to make a Giant Eagle. And I'll put the address to Creekside. If you guys have some beers you want to see Ben try on the show, you guys can send them in to our good friends over at Creekside. But I do want to jump into some Steeler stuff because you had mentioned we were talking about the trades that, Coach T was kind of the selling point to the Steelers for a long time now. And I want to bring to your attention, maybe you've heard this, maybe you haven't, this past week, something that Julian Edelman said.
Okay.
All right, so Julian Edelman has a podcast. He was on there chopping it up, and he was talking about the Steelers' defense. And the quote is, and I'll censor some of it, he says, they still do the same stuff when I was playing Tomlin's defense. He said, we still have linebackers covering the 3 slot. Every time we play the Steelers, I have at least 9 catches. You would think they would change it, but no, they do what they do. All right, and the conversation fades into saying that Pittsburgh loves the way that they do things, and they don't plan to.
The 70s.
Yeah, they don't plan to change it. They plan to line up across from you and try to beat you with it. But in a league that is consistently evolving, I would imagine the analytical department is through the roof in a lot of these franchises. I don't know that would be a selling point to coming here like it once was.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with you. I think there's obviously truth in it. Listen, if Julian Edelman, who played against the Steelers for so long,
Evan, we'll have you weigh on this too.
He there's definitely truth to it. If you don't, you got to change with the times. We talked about a little bit last week when we talked about the defense, like where's the blitzing, where's this, where's the Dick LeBeau B2 slide and all this stuff. And it's like we're not trying to confuse people like other teams do. Like other teams are confusing people. Look at the end of that Bills-Chiefs game. Spags sent a corner blitz. They said, I think the first time all game in the situation where you would never expect and you need it, you confuse, and they got home.
Yeah.
It's like we just go through this. You know what? We're just better than you. We're going to line up and we're going to beat you. That works to a certain extent.
Until you meet someone who's not better than
At
you.
some point, you have to decide
Yes.
that you're going to throw some different wrinkles at teams. I mean, that's what we used to, again, I mentioned this at one point when we were doing offensive stuff. Hey, coach, what if they do this? They won't. I'm sorry? What did they do? Mm-hmm. So, I just think, that's something that the Steelers have, they got to get away from. They've got to get to a point of, if that's true, and he's saying it, I don't know why it wouldn't be true, but if Julian Edelman says that he's seeing the same thing when he was playing, then must be something to it.
Did you hear that, Ev? That Julian Edelman quote when he was talking about the Steelers defense and they do run the same stuff over and over again?
I didn't, but throughout the season, you've heard like players from other teams saying, like the Bengals saying they ran the same play like 7 times in a row, or
that was the first thing I heard about it. I started thinking about them saying that this year on offense.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, come on, cuz. That ain't great.
Got to mix it up sometime.
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes.
Just change it up a little bit, right?
Just a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. Kind of like what you did here with these different flavors, huh?
Small move.
Oh, was this a mix-up?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll change it up.
Wow, a little change-up, Evan. Family dinner brought to you by Giant Eagle.
Hodgepodge.
A hodgepodge.
Flavor.
Okay, what do we have?
These are like a sticky, sweet, and spicy barbecue.
All the additives, huh?
Those are...
Tell me it's not garlic parm.
No, they're truffle parm.
How do you make it better? How do you make garlic parm better?
Garlic parm better.
See, just a small adjustment there, and the
small
reaction
adjustment.
is
amazing.
That's it.
You should be a coordinator.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
I coordinate food.
The kitchen
and
coordinator.
these are like honey mustard, so kind of like a black and gold, kind of some
sauce.
pepper in there too to
Wow.
give it the black for the gold.
And just some potato chips.
Oh yeah, some just a palate cleanser, some fried potato skins.
Yeah, that's right.
Mix it up a little.
Jeez.
Thank you, Giant Eagle, for all the food that you provide, Evan, to give us. So just saying a prayer to Giant Eagle. That felt kind of weird. It felt very, very weird. Sorry, I'm going to back that up.
The hat's
Got
on
your haircut.
a while ago. It's just not growing this time.
You're getting older.
After all these years, I got the memo. It's like, hey, man, we need you to look like this.
Yeah, constantly.
Hey, Evan, we're gonna get into the family dinner here, but we would like to. We haven't had a chance yet to talk about our thoughts moving forward for the show. So the off season, we've talked about a couple of different things, and we want to make sure that you're on board because you're part of the family.
I appreciate that.
You are a coordinator.
Oh,
You're
You want to be the offensive coordinator or defensive coordinator?
defense, because the
Defense wins championships.
grittiness,
Oh, you'll be gritty.
Yeah.
Gritty.
You look gritty.
Thank you.
Okay. So anyway, we're thinking about, potentially doing some unique things, and we're going to need the fans' help. But we're talking about taking this show on the road a little bit. Okay?
Let's go.
Are you okay to go on the road?
I'm ready.
So we're thinking about, why is Brendan calling me?
He
Texting
heard
me.
you. He could sense it.
That we're going to talk
He's
about.
like, you guys having a passion fruit beer? I just feel like you guys.
So what we want to do is we're talking. These are all we're just brainstorming, and we hope that the people can weigh in. Is maybe do like a little Steeler tailgating episode,
I'm always down for tailgating.
like where we maybe venture to all the cities where we're going to play this year.
Whoa.
And visit a Steeler bar in that city.
You mean like across the country?
Yeah.
All the places we're playing. So we know we got the big 3: Baltimore,
Yeah.
Cincy, Cleveland. Then we got to go to Chicago. We got to go to Detroit. We got to go to LA. We got to go to Jersey
In New England.
and New England.
A lot of good food scenes there too.
So I'm saying, let's go check them out.
2 birds, 1 stone situation.
That's right. We try the local beers.
I love
We could try the local food. Maybe some of the food will make the cookbook, or
Maybe.
some
It could.
inspire
Yeah,
the
Fire.
cookbook if we get to it, because we're about 2,000 people short still of subscriptions. So we're getting there, but we're getting there. So anyway, that's just a thought. Take it on the road, and so we might need your help, fans, to tell us like the best Steeler bar in those places we just named, so we can maybe visit it and enjoy it. Would you be down for that?
Should I pack now?
Okay, Evan's in.
I'm in.
Okay.
We also might be headed down to Nashville soon. The three of us take the show on the road and try and do a couple shows down there. Duck's down there. We're gonna get Duck on the show.
Man.
You have to cook duck a duck.
You gotta
right?
cook. Yeah, what do you cook
I
for
can
Duck?
make duck, yeah.
I know. I've had
That's
it.
like
It
that
was
commercial.
Is that-
That's like that commercial from Oregon.
I was going to say, is that a little offensive
High
to him?
tide,
Or no?
guys,
He'll
high
be
tide.
okay with
It'll
it.
be fine.
He's
Trust
a
me, he'll be
wild
fine.
man,
He's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go down and get Duck. Maybe try and get some country artists down there. Get some of our friends on that show. So we'll go down there for a couple days and knock a couple shows out and
I'm going to have to get a cowboy hat.
whatever you need.
I have a lot of hats, but none of them are cowboy hats.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know if you're going to buy one, Nashville's probably the place.
That's
to
what I was
start.
thinking.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
You can try to outcook the entire city of Nashville.
No.
I think you can do it.
oh, well.
I think you can do it.
With the footballing fans on my back,
That's what I'm saying.
anything is possible.
That's what I'm saying.
Anything's
We'll hold you up like Rudy.
Oh, wow. Great reference, too.
You know.
Soft spot in my heart.
Oh, speaking of that, so thank you, Evan, for this, by the way. But I do need to do this before I forget because this came, and I hate doing this as much as anybody. But I got a box this week in the mail, and it says, "Dear Spence, Evan, and Ben, greetings from Ohio."
You came last?
I did come last. You don't understand why. Jason and I know that your outstanding production is dedicated to professional football, but with such a strong connection between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the state of Ohio, Noel, LeBeau, Ben, we want to provide the enclosed Buckeye necklaces as a peace offering and official invitation to be our brothers and members in good standing of the fan base for the official team of Ohio and current champions of all college football, the Ohio State Buckeyes. Go Bucks. P.S. Welcome aboard, Spence. Sincerely, your favorite fans in Findlay, Jason and Brian. Jason Lane and Brian Beal.
I can't accept
gag.
this. I can't accept this gift.
I'm just passing. I'm just the messenger.
Wait, is it chocolate?
I'm on board.
I might try it.
You have
You mean the Ohio State?
Spence, give me a camera. These are Buckeye.
Go ahead. Do the whole
Absolutely
unpack.
not.
Go ahead. You got it. You're the only
Mine's got a
one.
hole in it.
Oh, jeez. Look at that. Show it. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I guess I'll put it here just for the show's sake, but
Should I take it out?
it's up
Yeah.
to you.
There's
Are
a
you gonna
hole.
put it
It's
on-
already.
Are you gonna put it around your neck?
I will not.
You will not wear
I
it
will not put this around my neck.
because they beat your Irish.
Well, that's the start right there, and there's many reasons why I will not.
Second, I don't wear chocolate.
Yeah, who wears
Are
chocolate?
these really
Those are
edible?
chocolate necklace. You'd be like,
I
eating
run
it.
hot.
Oh, no, these
I
are
run
actual-
hot, so it would melt on
Yeah.
me.
What was those necklaces? You had the candy, like the little candy necklace.
Yeah.
They're
Chocolate.
actual Buckeyes. They're not like the edible
Yeah.
ones.
So what's the
I
point?
wanted, yeah, I
Come on,
wanted
you
the,
guys. What are you doing?
Why would you even?
Thank you, though. I don't want to be rude.
No,
you
I'll
are,
be
'cause
rude.
You
I'll
are
be
rude because when I talked about him, you were like, "What's that guy? That Beal guy? I can't stand him."
Yeah.
No, I
You
did not
that.
say
Oh,
that.
I mean, no, you didn't. But you told.
No,
me.
I did not say that. He and I have had spirited conversations about college football and its landscape. So
Spirited conversations. I love it.
I'm going to
All
put
right,
this
Evan.
here for a second.
Yeah, I can't.
For a second. You mean you're gonna leave it there?
No, I'll get it when I head out.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna try this. Anything else you'd like to?
I wore a special shirt for the Super Bowl today.
Okay.
Let me unveil it, if I may.
I got you. Go ahead. It's a family show, man. You know what I mean?
See that?
Yeah, that's right.
Local shirt, too.
Yeah, that's
So
right.
That's
Feels
well
good.
done.
That feels
well
good.
done.
It feels right.
It does.
Is that a possibility?
I don't know, but that's what I'm rooting for.
First time ever.
I put it on this morning, and I said, you look great.
You look
You
great.
look great.
And you feel great.
You handsome son of a gun.
What a message on the shirt. If anybody could put a message on a T-shirt, this was it.
Dude, that was beautiful.
So, well, enjoy
for
your
you.
enjoy
Yeah.
your food.
Thank you, Evan.
Thank you,
I
brother.
appreciate it very much.
I'll take these.
Yeah, take those with you.
The fireplace, you can just go right in there.
Yeah. I think it's
It's
good.
on.
It's
All right.
Enjoy.
Thank you very much.
Hey, that's very thoughtful of your friends.
Yeah, very thoughtful of those guys. Did you say friends?
I said your friends at this point.
Are friends? Friends is a loose term for those two.
The people you know.
Yeah.
People you know over in Ohio. Here you go, man.
Wait.
well, I'll do this beer,
Yeah, give me a beer.
and I'll send this to you.
Sorry, I'm getting my Band-Aid off so I could eat the barbecue.
Oh, you're good. Wings. You know what? You know how Evan is a phenomenal cook, not just a great one. The amount of napkins he gives with wings,
He's no dummy.
he knows. He's like it's like Santa or Jesus. He just knows. All right. This last beer here is from our good friends over at Voodoo Brewing Company. All right. It is called Everybody Wants This Ladder. It is 8.6.
Oh man.
I think it's an IPA. All right.
Got it.
Super rad art. It's kind of But yeah, Mosaic hopped. Yeah, IPA. Now that's locked in as a quote on the can. This is a very informational breakdown of this beer.
Let me be very honest about this wing here.
Which one is that?
This is the truffle.
Yeah. You went there first?
Oh.
Yeah, I believe you. I believe you, dude. He said
no ranch needed.
He said, "No, it's not garlic."
Oh, let me clean. Yeah, that's not
said-
garlic. How dare you? As long as I offended him.
Yeah. He's like, "You thought I would do garlic?"
No.
Wow. Thought you knew me better.
I'm a truffle guy.
I'm a truffle guy, brother. All right. Everybody wants this ladder.
Okay.
All right. Here you go. Voodoo Brewery.
Oh,
That's good.
that's really good.
Yeah.
Really nice. It doesn't taste like 8%.
I feel like this would creep up on you, though, halfway
It's
through.
Mosaic.
You'd be like, here you go. You'd be like halfway through that, and all of a sudden,
This is good. This isn't even that strong.
right, and you'd stand up to go get a chicken wing. You'd be like, you know what? I should probably eat these sitting down.
And you got a dart in your neck.
Yeah. You're crazy, man.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Spence, did we hit everything that we needed to hit on today?
I think so, man. This is a family dinner. Is there anything family oriented you want to hit? Or are we just going to send these people off?
I feel like this was a good
I felt
episode.
good.
It was a good episode. We have some stuff we could talk about. We can say that for next week.
Yeah. What I will say is this. All right, Super Bowl is this upcoming week. We're going to do something after the Super Bowl.
yeah.
Make sure you tune in. According to Evan, it's not. But I think the breakdown you were talking about, man, taking this thing on the road, I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
If that's something you guys want to see, let us know. We'll film it. We'll take it on the road, find Steeler bars, let the Steelers Nation know where to go when we come in town and inevitably win. I'm calling
Yeah,
it.
and that's the point of doing this is,
Right?
excuse me,
You're good.
is we want to visit these towns, cities, and check out the best place. So we're basically previewing tailgating for you guys.
Yeah.
We're going to go there. We're going to sample the food. We're going to sample the beer, sample the place. So when you go there to watch the Steelers take on that team during the season, we've already done the homework for you.
Yeah, look at us.
That's the point. We're doing this for you guys.
He's like,
It's for you guys.
Little travel guide.
Family. It's a travel
For the family.
show.
But we're going to need your guys' recommendations. So feel free to send that in.
Help us.
Let us know. Send that a message. You can do it at Footballin with Ben on Instagram, or you can leave it in the comments of this YouTube video or Spotify or Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to this. Wherever you are hearing our voices, let us know. Other than that, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah. Thank you guys very much for being a part of the show. Thank you for allowing us to talk a little basketball, some trades, eat in front of a microphone.
It's my favorite part.
Yeah. You guys are great. We appreciate y'all. We need about 2,000 more subscribers so that cookbook comes out. But we will see you all next week after the Super Bowl. Enjoy it. Be safe. And maybe we'll actually talk about the commercials because it'll be more interesting than the game. Later.